Hello, I'm Lance Dixon, and welcome to week 22 of the Sharing the Light broadcast. A couple of weeks ago, we spoke about the dangers of pride, how pride can creep into your life, and how many of us may not even realize it's there, and the devastating effects that it has on people. This week, we're going to talk about the exact opposite. The answer to pride is humility. And this week, we're going to talk about the power of humility. Humility is often misunderstood in society today. Many people look at humility as weakness, but it's not. Humility is not weakness, it's not thinking less of yourself, it's about thinking of yourself less. Humility is rooted in three convictions. One, there's always more to learn. You're open to learning new things, listening to people, even when you may not necessarily agree with their opinions. Two, others have value worth recognizing, the ability to give focus and grace to others and not so much yourself. And the third conviction is greatness is measured by service, not by your status. It's not important as far as humility is concerned about your status in life. If you're a CEO, if you have a doctor's degree, all these accomplishments that many of us tend to boast about, humility is not concerned about it. Humility is about taking care of others and doing for others. Humility unlocks many things in a person's life. It unlocks learning, trust, resilience, influence, and wisdom. The humble person is open to learning new things. People trust the humble. And the reason for this is that they are genuine. They are not focused on themselves, but on everybody else. Humility is one of the most resilient postures a person can adopt. When identity is not anchored to titles, accolades, or the approval of others, setbacks lose their power to destroy. A humble person can fail without being shattered because their work is not contingent on flawless performances. Trust is the currency of every meaningful relationship, whether personal, professional, or communal. Humility earns that trust. Humility unlocks the power of influence. Influence, which is built on humility, will outlast influence, which is built on either authority or fear. I'll give you an example. Gandhi, a very humble man, but he made such an impact on society. His influence was based on his humility. Humility reflects wisdom, does not simply accumulate information, it applies understanding. Now, I said a lot about humility, and there might be a question that's lingering, and that is, how do I develop humility? Well, humility is a choice, but there are certain things you can do to aid in becoming humbler. So I'm going to list a few. Practice gratitude daily. Be thankful for what is going on in your life. Acknowledge that verbally. Say to yourself, I'm grateful, I'm thankful. There are a lot of things we can be thankful for. If you are in good health, that is something that you truly can be thankful for. Every time we take a different breath, that's something to be thankful for. Look for things to be grateful for. Invite honest feedback. If there are things that are not necessarily going on in a way that you would prefer, seek feedback. Even if you don't necessarily agree with it, listen to it and be grateful that a person was willing to offer it. Celebrate others and do it publicly. Let people know how grateful you are for them or how happy you are for their accomplishments. Serve without recognition. This is something that a lot of people struggle with. They want to do well, but they want people to know that they did well. Don't look for recognition, just do well. Expose yourself to new ideas, a different type of thinking, and diverse perspectives. Reflect on your failures honestly. Take accountability for the things that you did not do right. These are all things you can do that can help you develop your humility. The power of your humility is not passive, it's active, it's deliberate, and it's transformative. It will build trust where arrogance builds walls. To walk in humility is to walk in alignment with one of the most fundamental laws of human flourishing. Those who empty themselves of the need to be great are precisely the ones in whom greatness flows. The ability is a choice. Embrace it. Now, that's all I got for this week. But before I leave, I want to talk a little bit about the newly revised Fatherhood Essentials course. I revised the course so that it'll be, I'll say, technically inclined and easy to access for the average individual. Every man who becomes a father steps into the most important role of his life. Yet, very few of us were ever trained for it. Fatherhood is not just a title, it's a responsibility that shapes the next generation. That's why the Fatherhood Essentials course was created. It was based on a book I wrote called When a Father Cries, which talks about things that I personally went through based on a separation and trying to maintain a presence in my children's lives. I made a lot of mistakes, but I also learned a lot of valuable lessons. And the book and the course are based on the lessons that I learned more so than the mistakes that I made. Any separation is going to be devastating. Anytime a family goes through a separation, the results are devastating to all the members of the family and especially the children. What parents tend to forget is when they are in the midst of hearings and custody battles, the children are caught in the middle and literally being traumatized. So, Fatherhood Essentials talks about things that a father can do when they're going through that stuff, but also things that they can do to maintain a positive presence in the lives of their children. The course talks about communication and developing those types of skills. There's a session about how important playing with your children is. Most of the time, we take it for granted. Make an effort to play with our children, especially when they're younger. It addresses situations that separation brings about, like when a marriage or relationship falls apart, people tend to move on. The mother will have a new man in her life whom the children will be exposed to. The father will have a new woman in his life whom the children will be exposed to. And cultivating those relationships is very important, especially to the children. We talked about that in the course. Also, it talks about things that fathers need to take into consideration regarding their health. Stuff like how stress can really be detrimental to you. Talks about being in control of your anger and how not to make decisions based on emotion or anger. All of these are part of the Fatherhood Essentials course, which has been revised. And between now and Father's Day, it's been offered at a very special discount, 30% off the regular price. The regular price is affordable, but this discount makes it even more affordable. So, for all fathers, whether you're going through these types of challenges or not, this course would be beneficial to you. And I recommend you take advantage of it. Well, that's all I got for this week. This is Lance Dixon signing out.